Hi, my name is Josie. Welcome back to my writing channel. Unfortunately, we have not been doing very much writing recently. I maybe have like 5-10 minutes here or there jotting some stuff down, but I really miss being able to just sit down and get lost in my epic fantasy book. So my plan is we are going to make a change. We are going to do a writing challenge. So I'm currently biking in Europe, and it really feels like every day is just so full of biking, of sightseeing, and I always wait till the end of the day to do my writing, but by that point I'm so tired that we're going to change things up. We're going to try writing first thing in the morning. So the plan is for the next 5 days, we're going to write for half an hour in the morning before starting my day. And I'm hoping that I'll have the energy. It'll also maybe ground me a bit more for the day instead of feeling this sense of like, okay, time to get ready, time to pack up, time to keep moving. So that's the plan. Right now we are in Sevilla, Spain, and we are doing a day of just walking around, checking out the city, and it is absolutely beautiful. Day one has been successful. I set an alarm for 30 minutes and then just wrote for those 30 minutes. And I even went over by a couple of minutes because I had to finish out like this paragraph section that I was working on. Yeah, I was really excited by it. I will say though that I feel like I'm having a hard time getting back into rough drafting. Like I really want things to be so much better right off the bat, and I know they're not going to be. So there's a little bit of a learning curve there. But I think another thing that's also kind of like slowing me down a little bit is I'm not used to writing fantasy. Like the books that I've written previously have been thrillers with like a limited cast in a location, secluded, isolated. So once you introduce the characters, once you introduce the location, you have to do a good job of that. You're kind of just playing with the things you've already created. Versus in this fantasy book, it feels like every single chapter I'm creating like a new setting, creating new characters. And so there's like a little bit of a balance of not wanting to waste too much time in introducing stuff that, won't really be brought up again. So I'm having to play around a little bit with that. And also just like, I feel like the world building is so dense. So really having to think through like, how does it work in this scene? What will the ramifications of that be later on? I don't really know. But I really did enjoy writing, and I don't know that I wrote very many words, so I'm not focusing on word count for this goal because I think if I did, I would get really discouraged because I'm still trying to figure stuff out. So I think instead what I'm gonna do is focus on time. So I did half an hour this morning and that felt really reasonable. So the goal I think will be to do half an hour for the next 4 mornings as well. And maybe like later on I can think about word count in like a couple of weeks once I've built this habit for myself. But because we're building from nothing, just like trying to get like 500 or 1,000 words feels like so much work. But it's like you can sit in front of your computer, of a tablet, and just like not really get much done, but you're making that time specifically for writing. So it's a lot more attainable. It's like if I'm not really into writing, I'm still just gonna sit here. I'm not allowed to do anything else. And so it's just like a lot more welcoming, I feel, than having this like set word count to try and hit. I have to hit the road soon, as much as I would love to keep writing, honestly. And I want to say that I'll write later today, but I know how these days go. We're gonna start biking, things are going to start piling up. Before I know it, it's gonna be like 9-10 p.m. and I'll just be tired and want to go to bed. So I'm excited to continue tomorrow morning. It's actually much later in the day. We have arrived at our final camping spot. There's the tent, and we're right next to this beautiful olive grove. I did do my half an hour of writing this morning when I first woke up. Haven't done anything since. We actually got here and went straight to the pool because it's been a very hot day. But I just didn't really want to talk about my writing until now because it was just like kind of discouraging. I wrote for the half hour, but I didn't enjoy it in the sense that like I didn't like anything that I was writing. Like I guess I was enjoying the writing, but I felt like nothing I was doing is gonna stick. Like none of it is like good enough, which kind of sucks. And I think part of that is because I am writing a section that's like a battle that I'm not good at writing physical conflict. I feel like my strength is in writing dialogue-driven conflict. Just like a lot harder for me to get this down the way I want it to be. I've been in these situations before, and I know I just have to try writing it once. I'll try writing a second time. And by the third, fourth, or fifth time, like, it's gonna be good. I'm gonna be happy with it. But it just sucks to have to like write something you know is just like not working and it's not going to be the final product, which is why I think instead of trying to keep forcing myself through it, I will have to at some point. I'm going to pivot tomorrow morning and do a different scene that I know is coming up soon that I have a much better idea of, and it is more like character driven and dialogue driven than scene driven, if that makes sense. On day 3, I woke up really early because we had to catch a bus because we're spending the day in Cordoba and it's been incredibly beautiful. But the bus we wanted to take came by at 7:30, which meant to give myself half an hour in the morning plus time to get ready. I set my alarm for 6:30, and when that alarm went off, it was so hard to convince myself to wake up and pull out my tablet, but I did do it. And then after about like 10 minutes, I was just like starting to doze off and it just like wasn't working. So I'm proud of myself for having pulled out the tablet and started writing and getting at least like 10 minutes in. But I'm definitely a little sad that I didn't quite hit that 30-minute mark. That's okay because tomorrow we're gonna do a lot better because we'll be able to sleep in. I'll get the full half hour in. I'll write a scene that I know I'm gonna love. It's gonna be a good time. Day 4 went really well. I woke up, took my time waking up, pulled out my tablet, and I think I wrote for 45 minutes. I didn't get a lot of words. I was kind of like working through rougher sections of stuff I've written before and like trying to make it better. But I'm feeling a lot better about it. I feel like as well, like my standard of writing is not in like final editing stages anymore. Like I'm kind of getting more into this first draft mindset, which is really helpful. It's lunchtime right now. It's been a little bit since this morning, and we're trying to enjoy the shade and the cool because it's been hot. So I'm eating some orange. I think I have a little ways to go before I feel really solid about this writing routine. It kind of just feels like every day it's more like a chore than it is like fun. So I think I just have to get to some good scenes, lower my standards a little bit more. Yeah, it's better than yesterday for sure. So one more day before I can officially call the challenge complete. I'm gonna try and do more, I think, than the 5 days, but one more for sure that I cannot miss. The last morning of the writing challenge went pretty well, like writing wise. I woke up, I wrote for exactly half an hour because we had to get going because we had a lot of biking to do today and a lot of uphill, so I really want to try and get it done while the sun was low and it hadn't gotten into the hot late afternoon. The writing itself, you know, decent. I did skip forward to a scene that I had a bit more confidence in where I was going, so it made it a lot easier to get the words down, so that felt really good. But beyond just like the act of writing itself, like it was just really good vibes. I wrote with the sunrise, which was really nice. It was going up over this like dammed lake that was just down from the campsite, as well as we were able to get table and chairs. And I think it really does add value for me to be able to write sitting down on a table, because when I've been writing kind of on my belly in the tent, it just like, I just get stiff, I'm uncomfortable, so it just becomes a lot harder to actually like focus and write. I am really happy that I decided to do this challenge. It really did push me to get some writing done, and the fact that I was doing like no writing before this, like I'm really excited to have made so much progress. And it's crazy because it's like I'm used to sitting down and writing for a couple hours and getting thousands of words out when I'm really focusing. So I think only increasing by a couple hundred words a day doesn't feel like much, so it's nice to see the total over time really going up, and it kind of gives me a bit more confidence that I'm actually making progress and I'm not just writing things that are just like not going to be useful later on. Thanks for joining me for this writing challenge. I hope that if you're struggling to write, this might inspire you to try and fit at least a little bit of time in every day. And I will see you in the next video.